Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show. We ended the last episode tied with the Brewers for the top of the NL Central, and as things get more serious and this year goes on, we need to start reacting a little bit quicker to certain scenarios, and I've got one in particular in mind that really breaks my heart. I am looking at trading away Colin Holderman. It has been long enough, I think, that we've let this go on now. Colin Holderman, as anybody familiar with this channel and with this series knows, is an absolute legend for what he did for us last year and was probably a singular reason that we even got as close as we did to seeing the postseason. He was reliever of the year. He picked up 51 saves last year through 79 innings, also 11 wins. It was good for a 2.15 ERA. And he was absolutely incredible. There was nothing else that we could ask more of this man. But in recent games, it has been the opposite side of the coin. He's played in 29 of them, registering 16 saves but blowing 9, which is now the highest amount of blown saves that he's ever had in his career. He has picked up only 4 holds. He has pitched for 25.2 innings, allowing 20 earned runs, which is the highest since all the way back in 2023. He has allowed 4 home runs, which is right around where all the other seasons end. He has walked 11 batters. If that trend continues, it will be the highest walk rate that he's ever had in his career. He is striking out at a pretty good rate so far, but that is really the only stat that has improved. The ERA is currently at a 7.01. The WHIP is nearing 2. His win percentage is only 28. He's had 4 wild pitches. He's only been good for a 0.2 WAR, so pretty much league average. Like I said, his strikeout rate has gone up, and that's really the only positive increase. The walk rate has ballooned massively. The home run rate has tripled from last year, just about. And his potential has been downgraded to a C once more. His overall is now down to 79. Colin Holderman has thrown his last pitch as a Pittsburgh Pirate. And the man that I'm interested in trading for is going to come from the Rangers, where we just recently had traded away Peter Sturzelecki, Caleb Ferguson, and Frank De La Rosa. 3 relievers to get 1 closer, Kirby Divino, who I have featured in several episodes recently. Very excited for that kid, and we're going to be plundering their roster one more time, this time for Mark Doherty. He is a 22-year-old right-handed starting pitcher, 66 overall right now with C potential. So he's got a really strong foundation to build on with that higher overall than we usually can get. And with a C potential, he's not very far away from his ceiling. But what I find appealing about him is that he is progressing. Number one, that's a positive sign. He limits the home runs. That's his best stat. The velo is up at 99. The break is pretty good at 76. And he throws 5 pitches, a 4-seamer, 2-seamer, curveball, slider, and changeup. We've got a lot of options there from the right side, and I think if we can work on that clutch and some of the other fundamental attributes, then we could get something out of Doherty, but this is about the highest quality guy that I could find when shopping around in the trade screen. So it is going to be Mark Doherty. The Rangers will accept this deal, and that's going to be it for Colin Holderman. We salute you, we appreciate you, and I will certainly miss what you were able to do for us last year, but it is time to make a change. And with Colin Holderman no longer in the closing role, I am going to be putting David Bednar there. He is naturally listed as a closing pitcher, and Colin Holderman was listed as a reliever, so he absolutely overperformed last year, but Bednar has been rock solid in his entire tenure with us. He only has a 67 clutch rating, so his success does not necessarily come from overriding his other weaknesses. A lot of guys use that clutch as a stopgap. If it's higher than the other attributes and there's a situation with the runner in scoring position, the clutch takes over basically and kicks their attributes into overdrive to meet that clutch rating. It kind of works the opposite though with David Bednar. He is naturally really good at everything, and that clutch rating at 67 is actually tied for his lowest rated attribute behind the walks, which are seeing a little bit of a decline, but I do still trust Bednar. He is 32 as well, so I don't think that there's very much time left for him to be effective. But so far this year, he's matching the best output that we've had from him. In this game, at least. Back in 23, he had a 2 ERA for Pittsburgh, so that was awesome. But since we've started this game in 25, he's only gotten better. And he is still trending upwards for us, despite that overall coming down. So Bednar is going to be the new closer for us for the time being. And that move will also allow us to do one other thing that I have been thinking about. Hunter Stratton, down in AAA, is a 30-year-old, 66 overall D potential player, a guy that at face value you would think nothing of. His attributes do not lend any confidence in him being able to hit, or rather not hit, pitch to major league level talent. However, in AAA, through 34 games that he's appeared in, he has pitched for 43.2 innings, only allowing 23 hits, a single earned run, no home runs, 4 walks, and 41 strikeouts. He has a 0.21 ERA and a 0.62 whip. This guy has been the Terminator down there, absolutely destroying AAA competition, and so far he's been good for a 1.5 WAR. This is not something that you see very often, but at 30 years old with very low potential, he is probably right now having a career-defining moment, and I think that it's time to give him a shot. He's certainly earned it through AAA, so I will be calling Hunter Stratton up. I'd also like to give an update on Max Meyer. He was sent down to AA because AAA was just too much competition for him, and I think that ultimately that has proven to be the correct move. He's seeing a lot of positive movement in his attributes. His AA stats look fantastic. He's had 12 starts, registering 6 wins, 81 innings pitched, allowing only 6 home runs and 71 strikeouts. He's got an ERA of 1.67 and a whip of 0.70. I think Max Meyer has figured it out. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and do an update on some of these AAA guys that we've had waiting in the wings. Bubba Chandler has taken a step back over the last few years, and the expectations for him were sky high when we started this franchise, but he had a lot of trouble in AAA last year, and that really kind of ruined what I had planned for him. So down in AAA this year, it seems to be going much, much better. He's got 83 innings pitched, 69 strikeouts. He's got 10 wins and a 2.28 ERA with a flat 1.0 for the whip. So Bubba Chandler is absolutely, I think, ready to go or ready to have his first real shot at the major leagues. But right now, our starting rotation is also doing really good, and so there's no need for it yet. But as soon as something happens where we have a spot, Bubba Chandler is going to get that. Darnell Smith is another surprise to take a look at and get an update on. I had pretty much written him off after the disastrous attempt that we had to take him seriously. After I was so excited for his knuckleball and all the strikeouts that I could see flashing before my eyes, it didn't really work out with Darnell Smith. But I left him in there for depth, and he's been in the AAA rotation doing really, really well. He's got 7 wins. He's pitched for 83 innings with 76 strikeouts and a 2.39 ERA and a 1.19 whip. So there might still yet be hope for Darnell Smith. Bailey Falter is also doing really, really solid down in AAA. He's got an 81 innings pitched stat with 57 strikeouts, a 3 ERA, and a 1.07 whip. Falter is also pretty much ready to come back to the major leagues. Thomas Harrington is now a 70 overall, and he is doing just fine down in AAA with 60 innings pitched, 63 strikeouts, and a 3.45 ERA, but I'd still like to develop him just a little bit longer. 70 overall, I think, is just a little bit too low to seriously give him a shot against the major leaguers. They're just, for the most part, a lot better than that. And we have promoted Max Meyer back to the AAA level, so he will begin now to try to climb that hill to get back up into the major leagues. But let's get back into the baseball. We have a series to finish with the Cincinnati Reds. As we have taken the first 2, they bounce back in a big way in Game 3, and they win 8-2 against us. And now Jared Jones is going to get the start against Rhett Lauder. Hey, that's a guy that I'm very familiar with. That's another crossover player from the Two Idiots franchise with Panther. Love it. It's the bottom of the 9th with nobody out but Nick Gonzalez on first base as we are trying to at least tie this game, but potentially walk it off here with Brian Reynolds. Reynolds has been every bit as consistent and solid as we would come to expect now. He's averaging 255, and he's 0 for 3 today, but against James Brubaker, let's see if we can improve that. Nobody out is a good place to start this situation. Brubaker throws 4 different pitches, a 4-seamer, slider, circle change, and curveball. So a lot of that will be coming in and slowly. He's not a velo guy. Just wonder how much movement those breaking pitches have. I will take that one directly down the center of the zone. Okay. Just trying to get a feel for the speed, seeing what he's going to throw first, and it's a fastball. That's fine. We'll take that one. I will not let that one go as Reynolds with a line drive into left field now puts 2 men on the bases. With nobody out, it's going to go to our number 4 hitter, and today that is Jock Peterson. His average has come down to earth. It's 274 now. That's a lot of power here as we're trying to tie it or walk it. And we're going to walk it off. Jock Peterson crushes it to right field. What a moment for him to begin this episode, and it's been a while since we featured such a blast from Jock Peterson, but that is precisely why we got him. And that works out as best as it possibly could. Swinging on the first pitch, blasts it over the wall. Fireworks going off, and the Pirates faithful cheering from the stands. What a moment for Peterson. So we take 3 out of 4 against Cincinnati in an exciting series, and we now, after the day off, turn to the Chicago Cubs. We are hosting them, and they are well below that 500 mark. They have been struggling pretty much all year. They are 30-43, but Reese Olson on the mound looks to be pretty good. He's got 5 wins over 83 innings with 62 strikeouts and a 3.14 ERA. That is better than Andrew Abbott's stat line opposite him for us, but Abbott is going to be looking for win number 8. And he does get it. Yes, we deliver a loss to Olson. Abbott picks up the win, and that's a 5-2. Okay, great way to start. Love it. That's a lot of W's so far in the month of June, and we've had a really hot stretch now lately, which is funny because it's gone back and forth, right? We had an excellent beginning to the month of May. Disaster struck, and the plane and the bus both crash, and it's an absolute disaster for 2 weeks, pretty much solid. Then we start bouncing back against San Francisco, St. Louis. We lose the series to the Mets, but after that, it's been pretty much nonstop winning. So it's been a very, very hot stretch now. We are 44-29 and still tied with the Milwaukee Brewers. They are keeping pace with us, but it is really just a 2-team race at the top of the NL Central. Shane Baz is going to get the start in Game 2 versus Caleb Killian as we try to take the series in just 2. And we lose that one big time, 7-3. Baz takes loss number 5. The next day, it's going to be Zach Littell versus Justin Steele, and Steele has been solid. 2.90 for that ERA over 90 innings. He's been very good despite not having much offensive support. With only 4 wins, I know that's how that's been going. And Zach Littell, unfortunately, has also not really registered very many wins for us either. He's only had 2 through 71 innings, and a 3.42 ERA looks great, so yeah, it's got to be the offense just turning off on his days. So let's turn it back around, take the series against the Cubs before we host the Angels. Clevenger is in trouble. It is the top of the 5th with 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. It is Owen Casey at the plate, and he's averaging 221. All we need is 1 out any way we can get it. Clevenger begins with a good cutter, low and inside. Let's try a 4-seamer high and tight. Maybe he'll pop it. He decided to hold back, but that is a strike nonetheless. And now we can give him something with big movement. Let's try the sweeper going low and away. And he gets that one to right field. No, it's going to land. Sowinski on the Crowhop throws home, and we can't apply the tag. Chicago has taken the lead in the 5th. Well, that's not very nice. Okay, 2 men on, 2 outs still for Ernie Clement as we try to limit the damage. That cutter is in there on the outer edge. Let's try a 4-seamer low and away as well. Just under the zone for ball 1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Switch over to the sinker. And that's very close. Clement is able to hold up on that one. All right, 4-seamer, let's go low and in. All right, we get contact there. It is 2-2. I want to try that sweeper, see if we can drop it in the mailbox on the outside. Nope, he does not go after it either.
Full count.
All right, cutter, low and inside. Let's go. That one is popped high into right field for Sawinski, and we've got it this time. There's a lot of ball left to go, though. I will return to simulating and see if they'll let us out of this one. They will not. It's now the bottom of the 8th with 1 out and Reynolds at the plate. They still have a 1-run lead. Yeah, let's go ahead and try to get it with him. Luke Little on the mound is a lefty, so Reynolds is batting righty right now. A 4-seamer, sweeper, and splitter. My brain and my mouth try to combine words like that sometimes. But there's only 1 out. With a man in scoring position, we are primed to tie it up here in the late innings. And Reynolds to shortstop. They throw to second. Can he outrun it? No, it's a double play, and Reynolds will strand him. Before this game is over, we get one more chance. It's the bottom of the 9th with 1 out. Luis Arise at the plate versus Josh Hader with 2 men on. Arise is 0 for 3 today. Hader with 16 pitches is pretty fatigued. That energy level is nearing half. But that 4-seamer, slider, circle change combo is deadly from Hader. He's an incredible pitcher. Confidence is very low, though, so I don't know. We'll see. There's only 1 out. Got to avoid the double play, but Arise as a contact and clutch king is a good guy to have in this moment. And that's a dribbler to second base. They throw to second, back to first, and they do turn to again, and the Cubs will take this one. It's our first series loss in 2 weeks since we played the Mets, so it's a tough one, but they earned it. We just could not seal the deal there, despite multiple opportunities. And now we're going to turn it over to Paul Skeens versus Chase Silseth and the Angels. That is another close loss. It is 4-5 as Skeens registered his 7th loss of the year. More losses than wins is not something I had on my Paul Skeens bingo card, but here we are. Next up, Jared Jones versus Brandon Woodruff. And we've got a situation for our newly minted closer, David Bednar. It's the top of the 9th. We have a 1-run lead, nobody out, 1 man on, and Mike Trout at the plate. This one is just a little bit too inviting of a situation with the pressure of Mike Trout, nobody out, man on, close game. Got to get into this one. Wow, that's a really big miss. Thanks for not swinging at that, Trout. I really appreciate it. Outside, no chase from him. Let's try to drop that splitter on the outside edge. That goes inside instead, and Cruz can field it, throws it, and we don't get him as Arise bumbles it anyways at first base. So just a clown car of not good defense there. Okay. All right, we'll try the fastball low and in against Logan O'Hoppe. Bullseye, right where we wanted it. As we could still get a double play and get out of this situation with a win. And that's hit. Side linker. We're going to go to second. Gonzalez back to first. Arise is able to play that one without any trouble. And we do get our double play. But the tying run is now 90 feet away for Zach Neto. He is 0 for 3 today. And let's try to challenge him high and in. We get it to the top of the zone. Reynolds is going to play this one in left field just a few steps over, and that is a successful save for Bednar. Excellent job. So with a win in Game 2, we will at least not get swept, and after 3 losses in a row, it's nice to have that win. We'll see if Andrew Abbott can give us another one versus Paul Blackburn. That is a 5-3 win. Clevenger gets credited with the win, and his ERA is now under 4, so really, really nice to see him bounce back. I love that. Next up is a series against Milwaukee. It's a 4-game stretch, beginning with Shane Baz versus Jesus Luzardo. And Bednar might be in trouble. 2 men on with 1 out with a 2-run lead. Let's try to bail him out. We will begin against Pavin Smith. He's 0 for 3 today, but he's averaging .283 this year, so definitely a tough opponent, but we could possibly still get that double play ball to have a nice and easy escape from this. We missed with the splitter to begin the at-bat. Try to follow it up with a fastball. That one's fouled away to even the count. All right, let's go high with that fastball. Oh, really good, but not called for a strike. All right, maybe we can tie him up. Let's cross the plate and go low and inside. That goes center of the zone instead, but luckily Smith jumps on it a little bit ahead there, and it goes foul. All right, time for a curveball. There we go. Wow, that was beautiful. He pulls the string, and Smith strikes out swinging. All right, last batter that we need. It's going to be Joseph Ortiz, and we'll begin inside with the fastball. Strike one on the swing and miss.
It's 0-1.
Let's try a splitter away. Very good spot for that one. That's 2 misses from Ortiz, and let's see if we can go 1 pitch each to get this strikeout. Curveball to Cruz in center field, and no! That is not going to be good enough to get him out, and that will in fact score 1. Runners on the corners now, and this game is not quite over yet. The Milwaukee Brewers always find a way to make this interesting. And it's now going to be Tristan Gray at the plate. And that one's hit to Gonzalez. No, he bumbles it. We throw to first. No, the error allows them to tie the game. Oh, come on. And Garrett Mitchell now comes back around. What should have been the end of it very cleanly instead is an error that forces the game to continue. And we get a good strike against Mitchell to begin. That one is fouled away into the stands and left. 0-2. And we'll try a curveball away. We got him swinging and missing, but the damage has been done as the Brewers tie it up. And we do go on to win it. Triolo with an RBI single and Schumann with an RBI double ends the game at 4-2. And with that win, we are still tied against the Milwaukee Brewers, both 6-4 in our last 10. 47-32 is where we are deadlocked. I wanted to take a look at the All-Star votes so far, and for starting pitcher, surprisingly, you've got to go down all the way to number 8 to find Paul Skeens. But look who it is right above him. Our old pal, Mitch Keller. Good for him. Brian Abreu is currently tied for 4th place with 139 votes as a reliever. Steve Seidlinker is receiving some votes. He's got 226,000 of them, tied with Matt Chapman, but he is not in the top 10 for voting. Brian Reynolds is firmly in 2nd place for the left field All-Star nod. O'Neal Cruz, despite our position change, is currently the top voted center fielder. Jock Peterson is currently ranked 7th in voting for the designated hitter. That is just awesome. He's got 14 home runs and 41 RBIs, standing toe-to-toe with Marcell Ozuna, Pavin Smith, David Fry. He's doing better than Jurickson Profar, but the average carries him higher into the voting. More home runs than Christian Yelich and more RBIs as well, but Shohei Ohtani currently is pretty much a lock for the DH with almost twice as many votes as everybody else. For home run leaders in the National League, right now, O'Neal Cruz is tied for 3rd with Eugenio Suarez, and then down at number 6 is Jack Sowinski. Cruz is also in 3rd place for slugging percentage with a .571. That's awesome. National League loss leaders, but in the good way, is Andrew Abbott, Jared Jones, Blake Snell, and Aaron Nola, all tied for 1st place. But to see 2 Pirates at the top right there is really, really cool. For strikeouts, Paul Skeens is currently ranked 4th behind Spencer Strider, Blake Snell, and Hunter Green. Skeens is also commanding the best whip in the National League currently. For Game 2 against Milwaukee, we'll put out Zach Littell versus DL Hall, and he looks to be really, really good. Definitely good enough for the win. They take it 6-4. Next, we turn our rotation over with Paul Skeens versus Freddie Peralta. And it's the top of the 7th with 2 outs, bases loaded for Brian Reynolds. I had definitely already anticipated getting into any critical situations that this series would offer, as we are the only 2 teams serious right now in the division. And as we're battling for the top spot, this 4-game series is a real good checkpoint to see how these 2 teams match up. Right now in the top of the 7th with bases loaded, we've got 2 outs and Brian Reynolds at the plate versus Danny Young. Sweeper, sinker, cutter. Kind of an unorthodox mix there, but we'll see what we can do against it. And that sweeper stays out. Not much horizontal movement, it didn't look like. That was nearly just like a soft cutter. Okay, everything comes in pretty slow from Young as well, so I imagine there's more break on the other ones. Okay, that sinker also comes inside. That one was at 89 miles an hour, so yeah, nothing really burning its way to us, but it's 2-0 right now. And Reynolds, that one will fall, unfortunately, right in front of the second baseman, and we will strand all three runners. And in the ninth, we get another one with Jack Sowinski versus Ryan Helsley. Oh boy. This is definitely tough. Helsley is incredibly difficult to get a handle on in this game. There's nobody out, one man on. In the top of the ninth, the Brewers with a one-run lead still. We miss on that one. We were behind on the timing. 101. Yeah, that is a scorching ball coming at you. 0-1 on Sowinski. And we can't pick up that 12 curve. We were very early on the time. It didn't quite feel very early, but... All right, it's 0-2. What do you think? Fastball, maybe inside, try to tie us up. Maybe a slider inside. Nope. It is a 12 curve that I have to guess missed at the top of the zone. That could have been very, very dangerous. Sowinski on the good timing is only able to foul it, though. 0-2 again. No, we swing 101, and we're behind it. It's just so tough when you know how fast that's coming in. It's like there's no time to make a decision against that. All right, Triolo now with 1 on, 1 out. And that's a miss inside at 102. League leaders for saves. Yeah, Helsley is up there. 4th right now at 23. And it's 1-0 against Triolo. Not entertaining anything like a bunt or something like that. I'd like to get solid contact. Triolo every once in a while flashes some power. You never know. 1-1. And that one we are late on. 101 on the outside edge. And it's now down to 2 strikes and 1 ball. We near wasting this. I got to anticipate a slider away. Don't swing. Don't swing. Okay, it's a fastball away, but still, my mantra worked. I did not swing. All right, 2-2. Let's see what Helsley decides to give us. No, we are behind it again. 101 is just so difficult. It almost doesn't even matter where it goes. It's just hard to make that split-second decision. And we come now to O'Neal Cruz, as this is the final out of the game, as the Brewers are ready to take this thing. That one is hit well, but we're early on the slider. It was way too inside anyways. I was just really nervous about the fastball. The individual stats there for Cruz show that he's 0 for 5 against Helsley. He's never had a hit on him. Maybe we could change that. A little bit of luck. That one is driven to foul territory and left. We were late on 102. No surprise, but at least we got a better piece of that. But we're down to our final strike, and maybe he'll go off speed. He did not, but that one was high enough that it was not tantalizing. No swing. 1-2 to O'Neal Cruz. 0 for 4 today. That one at the center of the zone is lifted over to shortstop, and the Brewers win off of the line drive out. That's 2 hard losses in a row against Milwaukee, as the only thing left for us to do positive with this series is to split it and not get 3 out of 4 taken from us. Jared Jones versus Tobias Myers for the final meeting in the series. And Jones is in deep crap. Bottom of the 4th with 2 outs, bases loaded versus Nick Lofton. Yeah, let's try to help him. Jones has thrown 65 pitches through 3 2/3, and it's definitely going to be a tough game against any Milwaukee Brewers team, but right now, they seem especially locked in this series. They've been keeping pace with us all year. It's been tough to try to create any space between us. And right now, with the last couple losses, the Brewers have the division. Let's try that slider going away. Swing and a miss as we fooled him on the timing there. Good job. And let's try a 12 curve outside. And we got him! All right. Bale Jones out of the bases loaded situation. We'll let it try to sim out now. Bottom of the 8th with 2 outs for David Bednar. Here we go again. All right, 2 men on, 2 men out. Let's begin with a curveball going outside. Under the zone, it is stopped by Bart. That's a lot of speed on the bases. Do not lose control of that ball. Fastball called inside at 99 miles an hour. Very good. Let's try high and in. That one misses instead, and no, it's a line drive that goes down the third base line. Brian Reynolds racing to go get it, but those 2 runs are coming in no matter what. It's just too much speed. A 2 RBI double puts the Brewers on top in the bottom of the 8th. And Garrett Mitchell comes back to the plate now as we are nearing the end of this game. Disaster has struck for David Bednar. He watches that strike come through. That's okay. 0-2. Thank you. I'll take that free pass. And the curveball goes way too far inside there. All right, let's try to cross him up with a fastball low and in. 0-2. And that goes to a rise. We'll have to... Nope. I guess we're going to race over there. I hit circle to throw it, but I guess they just gave up on running over. Arise steps on the bag, and we've got the final out, but the Brewers now have the lead. And they did not keep the lead. We are tied up now, bottom of the 9th with 2 outs as we are trying to prevent the Brewers from walking it off with Dennis Santana. Okay, yeah, this is definitely interesting. 2 men on, 2 outs, tie ball game. Can we salvage it here? Let's try the cutter low and inside. Good for strike 1. Okay, what about a sinker low and inside? That one's good too, and it'll pop him up behind the plate for Joey Barr to play it. And yes, we have pushed extra innings against Milwaukee. And they walk it off on an RBI single from Perkins. Alrighty then. 3 losses in a row is a tough way to end the series against the division rivals. And now we go to Seattle to face the Mariners. They are 45-36 right there with us. So we should expect a high level of competition. We will begin with Andrew Abbott versus George Kirby. And that is another loss. Now 4 in a row as we lose the game 1-4. Can Shane Baz versus Bryce Miller go the other way and give us a win and snap this losing streak? Oh, it's a situation for Hunter Stratton. Tie ball game, bottom of the 10th with 2 outs, runner on third versus Cal Raleigh. Okay. I was trying to get just to the end of the month to end this episode at what I felt would be a good checkpoint now, but I definitely want to see how Hunter Stratton handles this. We'll try a 2-seamer going low and away to begin. That's pretty close. That's really not that inaccurate. Okay, what about a 4-seamer high and away? That's a miss there, and Cal fouls it off in the left. All right, let's try that cutter low and away. You know I love that pitch. Okay, that one's fouled again. But we're down to the final strike for him. Can a slider give us the different result low and outside? That's a miss, and luckily is foul down the first base line. All right, let's try a 2-seamer on the top. Yeah, he swung and went around and missed it. There we go. We're going to push 11. And the Mariners walk this thing off. My goodness. And that's where we're going to end this episode today. We have gone on kind of a skid here. Only 3 wins in our last 10. We've given up the lead to the Brewers, and the Reds are now getting a little bit too close for comfort. Only 5 games back from us as they are sitting on 500 ball, 42-42. We are halfway through this season, and so far it's been successful. It's just a matter of whether we can keep some positive momentum and stop these losing streaks from happening. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.